Peace, what's up, everybody? It's Jay every day, and today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna follow up, and this is gonna be part 2 of my discussion on the worship and celebration of celebrity in America. It happened a while ago. I don't know how many people saw it, but they had this Beyonce mass. And while being agnostic and not really, belonging to no church or denomination or whatever, I believe in God, but that's about it. But this Beyonce mass was really interesting to see because, number one, you were playing secular music in a church. Number two, you were celebrating Beyonce like almost in the terms of Jesus. And it almost goes back to this cult-like worship that the Beehive have for Beyonce. Like, if you say anything bad about Beyonce or derogatory or do anything wrong towards Beyonce, there's a group of people that's going to disparage you, talk down to you, and do everything they can to support whatever position that they feel that she holds. Like, she can't do nothing wrong. Like my mama used to say, like, her shit don't stink. And I think the most disturbing thing about that whole Beyonce mass was people were saying, well, they weren't really worshiping Beyonce, and it was just a celebration of Beyonce and black women and women of color and all of this stuff. But anything you put in the church, you associate it with God, don't you? Any symbolism you attribute to the church, you associate it with God. And see, this isn't done by accident. If you think that somebody sat up there and came up with this idea and there wasn't some planning and some kind of thought revolving around this shit, then you're high. Because you can look at some of the pictures that Beyonce have took, and they've had like a religious overtone to the pictures that she took. And like I said, with one of my previous discussion posts about the whole lemonade mind fuck, everything Beyonce does is meticulously planned, meticulously done to create a trend, to create something to talk about. A lot of people are saying that I'm a hater and all of this. And realistically, I'm going to tell you like this. This isn't Beyonce's fault. Just because somebody propagates something or sell it, that doesn't mean you have to buy it. So if she sells that shit and people buy it, it's on them. And so, that celebrity culture worship and shit it's honestly disgusting, to say the least. And we haven't seen the end of it. And I think it's going to continue, and it's going to perpetuate, and it's going to get worse and worse. Because there's an industry that this shit supports. And it's just messed up because I don't think women really see it. And I'm going to segue a little bit until this this side business of let me hustle women, let me cater specific TV shows, discussions, and think tanks, and all of these things are created because they're trying to sell women a certain narrative. Because see, the secret that the framework doesn't want everybody to realize is the woman's dollar rules America. You may think it's the man's dollar, but it's really the woman's dollar. Well, what about all of these action films and superhero films? Think about it. Nobody ever goes to the movies by themselves, or very rarely do people do. But if a guy and a girl go to the movie, they probably went out to dinner first, they went shopping. There were a whole number of things that they did prior to going to the movie. And that's how they perpetuate the spending of the dollar. So it may be your dollar, but it's being spent on a woman for a woman to impress or please a woman. And I've touched on this in previous posts, but this cult personality, this worship of celebrity, this shit is disgusting. And you have a few big perpetrators of it. You have a few really big perpetrators of it. The Jimmy Kimmels, Steve Harveys, your Drakes, Tyler Perry. You even have some TV channels that the sole purpose is to perpetuate an idea or to make a demographic that completely and totally is for the benefit of women. While there's nothing wrong with that, let's not pretend like it doesn't exist. And this worship shit, men don't really do that. There's certain men that other men admire or they look to as role models or people that they want to emulate. But no man is going to be up in arms or start a hashtag if you say something bad about their favorite singer or their favorite rapper. I honestly believe that this problem is going to get worse before it gets better. And there's going to come a point to where a man can't say anything about any woman that's famous without being castigated and scorned by society. If you start to be trending on websites and stuff, this will be a problem moving forward in the future. So with that being said, that's the part 2 to it. I didn't want to dwell on this topic because it's disgusting and it actually makes me sick to talk about it. So that's part 2 of the worship of celebrity culture. And I'm out. Peace.